I should say I'm back. Welcome to the Superhero Circle Show. This is Sammy Two Times. This is the Eclipse.
What's popping?
I'm I'm Sammy, and let's just get into it. We're talking about the new Marvel movie Thunderbolt
Slash Avengers.
slash Avengers. See,
New Avengers.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know it was the new
I
Avengers
I
didn't
didn't know
either. They
either.
threw that on everybody at the end. They
at the
Yeah.
did.
very
The
end.
very end. They
And they
threw it on
made
at
it
the
look
end.
like it was
Yeah.
something major. Like, hey,
Yeah.
stay
Stay
tuned
tuned. Yeah,
for the
we got the preview.
surprise. And
Yeah.
it's just like, bro, okay,
Yeah, they
whatever.
did that. They did that.
Whatever.
They did. And it
Yeah.
was crazy. Because I was just like, New Avengers? Really? Okay. But you have Captain America running around here and you have a generic Captain America now, so what's gonna happen
Yeah. So he was.
Right.
So that guy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that guy name is the Agent,
Yes.
and he's a Hydra character.
Yes,
Was
but
Yeah.
was he
not
Hydra?
Not
now.
now, but he
Yeah.
was a
Okay.
Hydra character. And Julia Louis Dreyfus, she's Madame Hydra.
Well,
Yeah,
I think they shifted gears on her character altogether now and made
Right.
her the new bad guy, kind of like she's Samuel L. Jackson now. She's putting the team together. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
But I called it though.
yeah, yeah.
My
Actually,
oh,
I
you
think
prediction.
did,
My
yeah.
prediction.
yeah.
Except for I was wrong about who I say
Oh, you talked about
it was
oh
her and
Zemo
Zemo.
Zemo. Yeah,
Yeah, I said he was gonna be a part of it, and it wasn't. It was just her. So I was off by one.
but he was right because he and I were talking the last time and we said who's gonna have the biggest sob story. And he said it's gonna be the century, and sure enough, he did. He had the biggest sob story.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if you know his background, he had it pretty rough before he broke in there to steal drugs. That's the
Yeah,
only reason why he got his powers.
Right.
Yeah,
But I mean, one thing that Sammy was saying, like, how long are we gonna deal with the sob stories of everybody? Like, how long will that be? How long is that gonna take? And I was just like,
anyone
uh,
gonna comment how fast Taskmaster got wasted?
they had to get her out of there. She
No,
didn't. They
she didn't.
didn't.
you know,
So she didn't go over well
She didn't.
with the Black Widow,
No, she was the one who was after
oh,
the Black Widow trying to kill her.
yeah,
So they
and
couldn't.
them changing her into a woman.
Yeah, actually
It
hmm
changed
didn't
it up.
go over well.
Yeah,
right.
And not to switch gears or anything, but I think that's going to have the same effects on the Fantastic Four because they turned the Silver Surfer into a woman.
it's
So
funny as you say that.
they
I
may
was
not have a good, outpouring of that.
funny as you say that. I was reading about that, and the lady who's playing the Silver Surfer actually asked the question: "Isn't the Silver Surfer a guy?"
Yeah,
Even she had enough to know you giving me a part that belongs to a guy, and
Yeah,
but she's accepted it. The movie's been made already. She's accepted the role, and I think it's probably going to go over better than we expect because the fans who don't know will be like, "Oh, that's different. Wow, that's oh man, it's a woman." And of course, I got to use my line from Family Guy. Oh yeah, yeah, that's hot.
right. Yeah, I think
A
honestly,
silver woman, yes,
I
it's
feel
hot.
like the Fantastic Four is gonna save. They're thinking that they're gonna save the Marvel universe because they need another group of heroes coming together like the Avengers.
well,
Since
I
the
don't know if they
Avengers is
think that
not
they're going to
there.
save it, but you have to do this now because now you're introducing Doom.
Yes,
You don't
yeah,
have
Yeah, I
Doom
see
without the
that.
Fantastic
That's
you
true.
Four.
can't. You
Yeah,
cannot do Doom
that's
without the
true.
So that's
Fantastic
the
Four.
whole reason why they're in it now.
Yes.
And
hmm
like I said, I just don't think it's going to go over well with her being a woman because even though they did Taskmaster like that, they killed her off fast. And I was like, okay, well she's not dead. She's gonna come back.
I thought the
And
same
then when the
thing.
movie was over, I was like, she's dead.
Yeah, when she put that bullet in her
I
head, I was
think
like, yeah,
I feel like they
okay.
said, "Hey, second time's a charm. Let's try Silver Surfer now." Like it didn't go so well with
That is one
Taskmaster.
of the most iconic characters in Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean when you say it
he's
like that,
he's right up there with the Phoenix.
Oh wow. Okay. All right.
I mean, as iconic wise,
well,
Mm-hmm.
if you
like
think
when you
about
think of X Men, you think of Charles Xavier.
and so when you
True.
think about
And
When you
Wolverine.
Galactus,
think of
Wolverine. Yeah.
Wolverine, when
Yeah.
yeah,
you think about Fantastic Four, the first person that comes to mind is Doom.
Yeah. Because
yeah,
it's
The
his villain.
second
Yeah.
person is
Galactus,
no
and
Silver
then Silver
Surfer.
Surfer.
The Silver
No
Surfer. Yeah.
If
Silver
you,
Surfer.
oh,
Because that dude he's so iconic. So my personal opinion, I don't know. It could, but I don't think it will.
I
yeah,
think it'll go over because they made it a female, and the people who doesn't, and the fans who don't know, or those watchers who don't know, will never knew he was a male unless someone goes and tell them.
that's true.
But it's going to change everything. I really believe it's going to change the look. It's going to be split down the middle. Your
Probably.
diehards are going to be like, no way, and
But your diehards are the ones that post.
Yes.
Your
Yeah,
diehards are the ones
That's
that
true.
speaks the loudest. Everybody
yeah.
who don't know nothing about it, they just go, "That was a good movie," and they're on with
Right.
Exactly.
their
That's
lives.
true.
And they moving on.
Where
The
the diehards
diehards.
are like, "Oh, you better get shot, man," you know.
But I think the reason why they made her female, well, made the Silver Surfer female, because in another universe, again, we falling back into the
Yeah,
I've
multiverse.
the
never
multiverse.
heard of Silver
If you
Surfer
look
being
it
a
up,
woman.
instead of the main character of Silver Surfer, this time it's his girlfriend in another
Yes.
universe.
And another universe. I did
Look it
read
up.
that.
Yeah, it's real.
Really?
Yep,
They stretching the bounds, man. The
they
multiverse
are.
is
Yeah,
unlimited.
but that's what I'm saying. That was probably one of how many universes? Just
Uh,
like
Oh
when
my
they did,
goodness,
just like
yeah.
on Venom, when they
Yeah.
that's
put
true.
her in the suit,
Yeah.
she actually wore the suit.
Right.
He bonded with her before
Mhm.
she died, you know.
Hmm.
So I was just like, okay, yeah, that works. But the whole thing about that was Spider-Man was nowhere in the picture. And I'm like, you don't have Venom without Spider-Man.
That's true.
So, and that's the whole reason why. And
Yeah, he never once made an appearance.
never
He
once
never
Never.
made an
once made an
appearance.
appearance.
Never
Never.
once.
His name didn't even come up unless you
Nope.
want to know they put him on a TV screen when he
Right.
busted him out and then he licked the
Uh.
screen and was like, "Oh yeah,
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 that
me
was
and
it.
you." And that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Hmm.
But here's the crazy part. Why did the entire movie center around Florence Pugh, Yelena?
I'm glad you
I,
said that
It
because
centered around
because she
her.
started off narrating her
yes, she
life.
did.
That's
She
true.
did. She started out, but I love when she told everybody how horrible they were, and she just unleashed
Yeah, she
on
didn't hold back.
all of. Even when she told Ghost, "He's just a horrible person." Period.
Yeah.
She was just like, she was like,
Right.
okay.
My boy Agent talking about, is it my turn now? Is it my
She
turn?
let everybody know you're
Do
trash.
if
You
that
and your family.
if that wasn't a Family Guy, Meg going
Yeah.
after the family moment,
Uh-huh.
that's all that was, man. When
But I couldn't even get into it because I was just like, man, and I'm like, when are they gonna stop nerfing Bucky?
They're not.
I'm
They're
like,
not.
golly,
Just
when he
like,
went to Winter Soldier, that dude
it was
went
hardcore.
so freaking
He
hard.
was
yeah,
And
hardcore,
to
because he
this
was
man.
the
very day, if somebody said, "What was your favorite Marvel movie?" Winter Soldier. That was my
I was
favorite Marvel
I
movie.
just talked about that yesterday after we saw the movie. I said my favorite part is whenever he was fighting
They do with the
on the
knife.
street,
Yep.
and then he did it again with the knife when he was
Hmm.
fighting Sentry. And
Yeah.
so it just brought back when he was the Winter Soldier fighting Captain America on the street. I thought that was so clean. That was like one of the best fighting scenes that Marvel has ever
Oh
done.
yeah, oh
Like
yeah.
it's just
That movie hit on all cylinders,
Mm.
man.
yeah,
Another thing, so like, so we can talk about the Fantastic Four because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, it
Yes.
comes after the post credits.
Yeah. Go
yeah,
leave so you won't know
hmm,
what's happening.
right,
So,
Just leave.
but when I saw the preview for the Fantastic Four, I saw Galactus walking through the
Yes.
street, and I'm like,
hmm,
Galactus was never that small. Galactus could never. Galactus was so
He
freaking
he
huge.
he didn't
right.
crush cities. He was
He,
walking in the middle of the
Yeah, he
street.
was.
yeah.
He was.
I was like, wait a second. That dude didn't even come on the planet. He
Yeah,
just consumed it.
Yeah.
That's how big he was. He couldn't even fit on a darn planet.
But
right.
they had to give you an idea. The big guy had landed and he's
Hmm.
walking through the town.
I was just
But
like,
yeah.
oh, God,
But I mean, overall, the movie
suck.
but I had to take my mind and think, okay, this is not a typical Marvel movie. This is a
No.
wholesome. Let's sit down with the family and just watch a movie and say, oh, that was funny because it was jokes nonstop.
Oh yeah,
It
her dad was the comic relief the
right.
whole
I
show.
literally had to say, okay, this is not a Marvel movie. Let me let this go and just watch the movie and see what I think. Overall, the movie itself was good if you don't compare it to Marvel. But if
Exactly.
you compare it to
It's
Marvel,
kind of
then
hard
it's
to
like, okay,
not to compare it to Marvel when the
I
Marvel
know,
emblem comes across the darn
I know,
screen.
It is,
I know,
but
it
I
is. But
get
listen,
I get both
listen
your
to me,
points. It's
listen
like
to me.
Ugh,
Hey,
it's like
listen
I
to me.
used to
nah,
say,
I'm on your
you
side.
nah.
literally have to
I'm on your side.
No,
unplug.
you're not.
If you're a
No, you're
true
not.
fan of the comics, you guys
And
just have to
here's
unplug and
one
watch.
more for you. Here's one more for you. You know who actually created the Thunderbolt?
Ross.
That
Yeah.
is Ross Thunderbolt. He was the founder of the Thunderbolt.
It was amazing how they turned that story around.
Yeah.
The
To her
soccer team
soccer team.
with the little
Yeah.
girl pooping on the
Yeah,
field. That was a big
Yeah.
joke.
Like I
yeah.
said, it was
Yeah,
jokes
it was
And I was
good.
just
nonstop.
like,
They made it very family friendly,
Yeah.
with the exception of Elena going off on everybody and the darkness of the void and her
Yeah.
trying to help. But it was more family friendly and all, like you said, the jokes because they put it out there to where you could laugh.
now correct me if I'm wrong, but the void was where Sentry would go to meditate. He never put people in the void. That's where he went to meditate.
Okay, so that's where I was lost at
Yeah,
because I was
because
like, but
she walked in.
who is the villain then? Because just
That was
like
that
Adam
was
Warlock,
Yeah, they
that was
split him in two
that was
basically.
his
yeah,
that was
Was
his
it
other
alter? Yeah,
personality.
okay,
yeah.
He's a
all right,
schizophrenic,
yeah,
so he
yeah,
has multiple personalities, but
okay,
they never manifest themselves like Legion does.
Yeah.
got you,
Like Legion has like a thousand and one different personalities, and they all have their own powers.
right,
Well,
So
that's
that's
okay,
pretty
why,
awesome.
yeah.
yeah,
So
that
that's
would
why
be,
he's one of the OP anti-heroes because you know he's got powers galore, and he's never, as far as I know, he's never tapped into all of them.
mm,
Yeah.
Man.
So
okay,
Well,
well,
get ready because Fantastic Four is coming. Get ready for that. Like I said, we're not going to spoil the end of it with the Fantastic Four, but they're stick around and you'll see.
I think it's gonna be all right.
there's a new Star Wars series coming out.
I know
Yeah,
Andor is out now.
No,
Those who
no, no.
want to
Well,
watch
Andor
Andor,
is
Andor,
well,
out.
yeah.
Andor's final season is out, but there is a new Clone Wars type feel to it. It's not Clone Wars. It's called I can't remember the name of it, but it's following Asajj Ventress and Bane,
Hmm,
Oh
the
wow,
bounty
okay.
hunter.
really?
Yes, and that comes out this
Oh,
summer.
oh that's
And I am
good.
Yeah.
I,
so looking forward to that
I'm
because I was a huge fan of the Clone Wars. I love the
See,
Clone Wars.
I missed it. I
I'm
was
hoping
working
they
at that
don't
time. I
bring.
didn't have
No,
time.
the animation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I loved it because you had so many different characters that they introduced, and
Mhm.
then you didn't have to worry about actors getting hurt because you
Yeah,
had all this
right.
CGI
That's
yeah.
stuff,
true.
and you
That's
had
true.
like some awesome fight scenes between General Grievous and different Jedi's.
What
You
I tell
did
you,
say that.
General Grievous is the man. I like you since you brought him up when him and Obi Wan fought. He had them force lightsabers. I was like, wow.
Oh, in the
But
actual movie?
He had them actual
but the
movie.
anime, whenever they showed General Grievous for the first time taking out all those Jedi's,
Yeah,
I'm telling
that
you, if
one,
you watch the Clone Wars,
yeah,
his fight scenes are so much better because the possibilities are endless.
yeah.
mm,
But folks, we know we want to say thank you again. Happy Fourth, Happy Fifth. For all you Sith fans out there, Happy Fifth. Star Wars fans, Happy Fourth. And all you Marvel fans, just hang on. Fantastic Four is on its way. Um, Go out and see Thunderbolts. Prepare yourself for it. Um, Again, like we talked about, if you see it, if you're a diehard fan, unplug, take the comic book out your head and just watch it. If you try to compare it to the comic book,
What are you going to see it for if you're not comparing it to the comic books?
yes, and
it's
you're
gonna
right.
be okay. It's gonna be
but
okay.
that just gonna bring frustration because you'll get
Right.
up walking out like, man, I can't believe they did this.
Okay, but okay, as a purist
Yes,
and as a diehard fan, there is
yes.
no other way
There's
you
no
can
other way.
watch
You're
it.
right.
It's
You're
true.
right.
It's
So
But
true.
if you take it upon yourself to go and watch it, just know
it's not gonna
you
be what you
will be
think.
disappointed
Yes,
because it's not following the
nothing.
comic books. There, it's just
Nothing.
entertainment now.
Yes,
That's
it is.
So
wild.
to all you diehards,
Just
all
be
the
careful.
purists, people who know the backstories of every character, don't go in there with high expectations.
Exactly. That's why I said unplug and watch
Right.
the movie
Hmm.
because you're not gonna because you will blow up watching that movie
I
because
have to watch these movies. You don't. Okay.
so that's what I said. And then when you come back out, you just say, "Yep, that sucked," and walk out.
Right. That's it.
But that being said, thank you for tuning into the show. This is 72 Times and Cliff. Simi, thanks for watching. See you guys next week.